Well, that escalated quickly. So, I almost made a video where I went out, tried to do counterpoints and debate with some of the lefties who came to my comments. Thankfully, they don't want me dead, according to the comments. At least I don't know that for sure. But the right is starting to speak out, and it's not good. And I stand by what I said in the other video that I don't give a shit about your opinion anymore. You this has moved beyond what happened to Charlie Kirk, and the rhetoric, the disassociation, the gaslighting, the trying to obfuscate the truth. From what I'm seeing, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you got problems. You're missing the bus. And I'm going to address that in a minute, because there's some of you who just want me to bury my head in the sand and get off the internet and go walk around in a trail somewhere. Oh, believe me, I need to do that. But they're on mainstream media, they're on TikTok, they're on Facebook, they're in my own personal life, I've seen, that want anyone that doesn't agree with them dead. They're in the classrooms, they're in the universities, they're in all the government bureaucratic jobs, they're in all the tech companies, they're the people that make your video games, they're the people that make your coffee a lot of times. You know, and they want us dead because we don't agree with them. If you believe anything that even remotely resembles what Charlie Kirk pushes out, they want you dead. And now the right is saying, we will hit back. So that's it. That's all it takes. And the next incident is going to probably be bad. And it's going to start the downfall of the collapse of our country. It's started. It's official. Now, some would argue it already started. With all of the economics and all of that. And, the left is going to blame the right, and the right's going to blame the left, and the corporations are going to make all the money. And the corporations are okay with this, by the way. As far as I could tell, the stock market went up a tick or two. That tells me all I need to know about where corporations stand on what's going on. They want this. There's no argument. There's no more debate. There's no changing of minds. Everyone's minds are made up now. The left's minds have been made up because they've been indoctrinated most of their life. The right's minds are made up because they've had enough. The negotiating table is empty now. All the way up to the top levels of government, the left and right, they're not agreeing. They're not coming to the table to talk. They're not debating. That's why I said, if you're a lefty and you want to talk to me about these things, renounce the Democrat Party. Stop voting for them. Stop giving in to this, virtue signaling bullshit that you guys have done for years. Stop it. And then you can come negotiate with us. That's where we're at. And it makes me sad. I filmed this in the morning, so bear with me. But it makes me sad. And there will come a point where this does get out of control, that I'll no longer serve society. Right now, I drive a truck. I serve society, you know? And I would encourage all truck drivers to consider, is it worth it? You know, as this collapses, should we be the one making sure the Walmarts are stocked while people are killing each other? Just saying. I know I won't be out here driving during it. If it gets worse, nope, I'm done. I'll go stand out a society and protect myself and my loved ones. That'll be what I do during this. I really hope that something turns it around, but the negotiating table is empty right now. Clint Eastwood said it best when he said, "You ever notice how every once in a while you come across someone that you just shouldn't have fucked with?" Well, Democrats haven't learned that lesson yet. And that's why I know this is going to escalate. All you had to do, by the way, is shut the fuck up. That's all it would have took. The right would have mourned. They would have talked a little bit of shit. And then they'd have went back home to their wives and children and to their church or whatever the hell it is that the right does. And they probably would have forgiven and forgotten till the next thing. But no, you had to open your fucking mouths. And I think you mean it. From what I'm seeing, like, some of the faces of the people that are saying these things are absolutely diabolical. Like, they're the same looks that I've seen when I watch true crime and you go and you watch the body cam footage or the interrogation room footage. They're the same looks, the same way of talking, the same psychopathy. And that's what the left is defending and trying to protect. So yeah, I'm done talking about it. I'm done arguing. And I'm not going to continue to serve society if this is what is going to go down. You know, I'm still aligned with the right now as far as I'm a libertarian, but what choice do I have? I damn sure am never voting Democrat again. And I'm damn sure never allowing Democrats to benefit from anything I have to offer. You know, right now I'm doing this trucking for my own ends, but believe me, I want to retire and I'll find something else to do that's more self-serving and less of serving society and, you know, Democrat taxes and voting and all the. I ain't got nothing to do with any of that. I'll drop right the fuck off the map. You know? Then I've acquired the skills over the years to be able to do that. So we'll see. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here. For those of you trying to provoke me into debating, no, the evidence is clear as to what the left thinks of me. The left supports, and even if you're denouncing the Charlie Kirk violence, you're still not denouncing the radicals that are threatening all the way up to, like, it's been on fucking regular news at this point. You know, politicians for the left have supported this narrative of, oh, we need more. You know, who's next? Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Intolerable. And I'm sorry, but the conversation with the left is over. You're welcome to move on. I'm still going to make videos. I'm still trying to salvage some kind of life out of all of this fucking horse shit. And you're welcome to continue watching, I guess, but I don't care if you do, if you're a lefty. I'm not making these videos for you. More or less making them for myself at this point. Just to try and talk out my thoughts and my sanity. Trying to process all of this, I'm not happy about it. And I want to address the people that tell me, it's by design, it's they want you to fight, they want this, they want that, they being corporations and the powers behind the scenes, and I'm well aware of that. But it's gone beyond, just turning your head and trying to ignore the propaganda at this point. It's affecting us. I can't go out in public now without considering the fact that somebody might attack me, especially that I'm on here talking shit. But somebody might just attack me because I look a certain way or for the color of my skin. Somebody just might attack me because they think, okay, all the rules are off. The rhetoric of the left is like, hey, violence is okay. And that's unacceptable. And that's something that you can't just ignore. You can't just bury your head in the sand and not realize that that's become a thing. I would love to just ignore it, to be honest, go back to making my videos about trying to improve my financial situation, how to retire, mistakes I've made, things I could do better, all of that. But all of that won't matter if this goes kinetic and falls apart. How good's my investment account going to be when the entire market crashes to zero? When the dollar becomes like money that happened back in a certain other civil conflict in our history. And there's nothing that I personally can do to stop it, really. I tried to call it out over the years. I tried to make videos that anyone could find value in, really, for the most part. Every once in a while I'd get pissed off and do political videos, but for the most part, the videos I've done about keto, about fasting, about finance, and, minimalism and travel, and all of these things are things that anyone could enjoy if they turned off the internet and went and did it. But they haven't helped anybody really stop this mess that we're in and that we continue to dig further into the hole on. Nobody's looking at the economy right now. Nope. Nobody's saying, oh, there's a few channels that have kept their head down and kept going through all of this, but almost every creator I've watched on here has had to address this. And, now everyone's digging to see who else was behind the shooting, and there's theories upon theories about, there was a coordinated effort, there was a whole lot of this, a whole lot of that. And I would say, hey, it's time to be careful, because let's not forget we have AI where you can make anybody say and do anything. They even said when they put the picture out of the suspect that they use AI to enhance the picture, and now we've got people comparing the perpetrator photo with the original photo that was AI enhanced and saying, see, the chin doesn't match the mouth and the ear, it's a different person, and this has happened during every major tragedy where you get conspiracy theories. You know, this was orchestrated now, and the left's going to run with that ball and tell you that the right orchestrated it. And then a bunch of other people who are going to say the corporations are made it happen, or Israel, or any of these other theories that are running around. There's AI. They've even said that other countries are posting AI videos to kind of stoke the flames of us fighting each other. So just be careful what you're watching and what you're consuming right now, because the internet is filled with AI bots that are designed to piss you off and make you more unstable, to make you want to go out and honestly, it's working really well on the weaponizing the left. So I don't know. I guess pay more close attention to your physical reality than the internet reality there is. That's two separate realities. You know, but they're blurring together right now. And there are people out there that are not on the internet. They're in person. They're physically doing these things. And I think it's going to get worse. So I think the collapse is here. Can we pull out? Nah. We're pretty much in a full-on nosedive, and the chances of pulling up before we hit the ground are minimal. The solution would be for everyone to just shut the fuck up, get off the fucking internet, stop talking shit at each other, stop hating at each other, and try and get back to some semblance of life. But I can't in good conscience ask the right to do that, because the left has said they want to kill the right. Thousands of people have been saying it, and they've been saying it loud and proud and unafraid. And that's what this whole Charlie Kirk event was designed to do. It was a terror attack. It used the exact tactics of that. It feels every bit as potent as 9/11. And it's not about Charlie Kirk and his politics. It's about freedom of speech. It's about trying to have a debate and then being killed for it. That's what it's about. A lot of people are getting lost in the weeds. Well, he stood for this, he stood for that. Me. I'm not going to mourn him. Me. No, you should be mourning the fact that violence is now on the table when it comes to debate. That's what you should be upset about. That's what you should be denouncing, whether you liked Charlie Kirk or not. That's what has happened. And the radicalized left is screaming at the top of their lungs more. They have bloodlust. You can see it in their face. And they're clout chasing. And someone's going to clout chase their way to be the next one. And we need to put a stop to it. So I'm betting that there's a crackdown coming. And it'll be viewed as, oh, fascist this, authoritarian that. Oh, you see, we're right. We're right the whole time. That's what I predict is it's the next thing that's going to happen, is there's going to be a crackdown on people that are threatening violence from the left. And the left is going to point and say, you see, we told you Trump was evil. And they use that to justify it. And they were told that by their college professor, by school, by their friends that went to college, by MSNBC and CNN. They think they're righteous. They think, hey, this is what it is, This is why those same people put masks on. Everyone was telling them that they trust. You know, you still see some of them running around with masks, scared to death. It's an actual phobia, like a mental illness at this point, where people are afraid. That's how deep this runs. It's how influenced people are. And those are the people that now want violence, that are calling for more. One wasn't enough, I guess, or two or three, or if if you've been counting for a while, it's pretty high body count that we're getting to. And the right is tired of it, and I don't fucking blame them. So no, I'm not here to debate anymore. My mind is 100% made up. None of the points that have been made by the left in my comments are going to convince me otherwise. You should be, instead of arguing with me in my comments about these things, you should be in the comments of the people that are spreading this rhetoric of violence on your own political party. That's who you should be debating with. That's who you should be reasoning with, Get your radical left, under control. Let them know that it's not okay. But I already told you that ship has sailed. Their minds are made up. There's nothing you could say. And if you do that, even though you're in the same fucking political sphere, that you will be labeled. They'll call you a far right or whatever the fuck they call you, just for disagreeing with them. Nope. They aren't ready to listen, so why the fuck should I, right? Why the fuck should anyone at this point? No, the Democrat Party is over one way or another right now. The right has never been more mobilized. And guess what? Who won the popular vote last election? Midterms are coming up. What do you think's going to happen there? So that's my thoughts. I'm not a fucking expert. I'm just an asshole. Now I got to start thinking of what I'm going to do to get through this and still have some semblance of a good life, because this is not a short-term thing. This is going to take, probably the rest of my years on this earth. This is going to unfold, but it seems to be unfolding pretty quickly right now. I hope we put the brakes on, and I hope the next thing isn't the thing that makes it full kinetic. But, try and have a nice fucking day. I'm trying to, but I'm struggling with this. I really am. Like, I don't even want to do my normal videos right now. I'm too black-pilled by all of this shit. Oh well. Try and have a nice motherfucking day and shit. And I would say like and subscribe for more shit, but it's getting harder and harder for me to continue to make videos in this environment. I'll try. Maybe my time off will help. A little time away from the internet, or at least be censored by the Canadian government. Because when I'm up there, I don't get all the headlines and all the bullshit. They got their own problems. Although they're not immune, because I just saw a headline from the New York Post about a teacher who was replaying the video over and over again for her 10 and 11-year-old students in an elementary school, saying that he deserved it. Playing that for the children. That teacher was suspended. But, guess it's time for some homeschooling, because the education system is completely fucked. They're not making productive people at this point. They're making radicals and voters. That's what they're churning out. They're not putting out people with life skills. So it's only going to get worse because this has already been going on. We're just now seeing it bubble to the surface. And I guess we could thank Charlie Kirk for shining the light, even though he gave his life to do it, to show us just how deep and corrupt our institutions are and what they really think about the people they don't agree with. To be continued, I guess. All right, that's it. I gotta go and try and work for another 14-hour day. Do better. I hope. Just do better. And to the left, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It's time to shut the fuck up. I really hope you shut the fuck up. You know? Just calm down and shut the fuck up. Quit trying to score points. You don't want to win this game. No, you don't. Shut the fuck up. I don't know how many ways to say it. That's probably the simplest thing the left could do right now is just shut the fuck up, but they just can't help themselves, can they? Shut the fuck up. That's a very simple solution. You could still believe all your fucking shit that, you want us dead and, everyone that is on the right is a fascist, or anyone that doesn't agree with me is a fascist. You can believe all your shit. But right now, my advice, if I were in charge, would be shut the fuck up. We don't want to hear it. The right doesn't want to hear it. The people in the middle, the normies, they don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear your shit. And the more you run your mouth, the worse it's going to get. All right. That's it. Have a nice day and shit. Like and subscribe or something, I guess. I don't know.
Why is everything pain? Why does everything hurt? Drones in the sky, we're all asking why. No one is safe, everyone will die. But who's keeping score? Red versus blue, can't take anymore. Why is everything shit? Why does everything suck? Cities are burning, nobody gives a fuck. Economy's crashing, your shit out of luck. Why is everything shit? Why does everything suck? The news is on repeat, chaos on every street. We're living in the shadow of what used to be. Tangled in nightmares, longing to be free. Sirens keep wailing, the world's set aflame. Are we crazy? Are we to blame? Why is everything shit? Why does everything suck? Cities are burning, nobody gives a fuck. Economy's crashing, your shit out of luck. Why is everything shit? Why does everything suck? Can we turn this shit around? Can we stop this from burning down? Feel the stinging pain within. With AI oceans we can drown in. Why is everything shit? Why does everything suck? Cities are burning, nobody gives a fuck. Economy's crashing, your shit out of luck. Why is everything does everything suck?